Peacock, Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, YouTube, even a good old-fashioned website. You're probably watching NBC News Now through one of those streaming platforms, and you are far from alone. For the first time, more people are streaming than watching cable TV. That's according to Nielsen's Gauge report, documenting viewership in July. This is a big shift from how we watched TV last year. Nielsen says that in 2021, about 28% of America's TV watching was on streaming services. That's more than over-the-air broadcasts, but well behind cable. Those are the bars in yellow. But since last year, going to the bars in blue, streaming is up 6.5 percentage points. Broadcast is down more than 2 points, cable's off more than 3. So, what's in store for next year and beyond? Let's get into that with Joe Flint, media and entertainment reporter for the Wall Street Journal. Mr. Flint, welcome. Good to have you with us.
Thanks for having me.
What do you make of this shift? I presume that it comes to this as a surprise to absolutely no one.
Exactly. I mean, we've all been seeing the trends for the last few years as consumers cut the cord, as you said, and migrate to new platforms and start streaming more. So this has been expected, much like the way when cable surpassed broadcast TV for the first time. Nonetheless, even though we all knew this was coming, it is still a big deal. It might have even come sooner if last summer we didn't have the Olympics, which certainly gave summer viewership for cable and broadcast a boost.
What do you think is behind the success of these streaming services? Granted, the leaders are still kind of leading. Netflix is still at the top in terms of overall streaming with about 8% of consumers. YouTube's at about 7.3%. Hulu's at 3.6%, and then on down from there. Is it that the streaming services are doing something specifically right, or are they just kind of where the public is going and they happen to be catching the audiences as they shift?
I think it's both those things. We see Netflix, we see Disney Plus, we see HBO Max, Hulu, others with a lot of compelling original shows. And people can watch a lot of those shows on their timeline. I mean, with the Netflix and the binge model, and Hulu does some of that. HBO Max still does more of a traditional broadcast cable type model. But there's a lot of content there, and not just new stuff, but a lot of old library shows. So it just becomes almost a place to graze, if you will, content versus the traditional linear TV of the broadcast and cable networks, which more and more find most of their audiences from big live events, sports, news, that sort of stuff.
I think it's also worth looking at this from the business's point of view. I mean, NBC News Now is not an experiment for NBC News, right? We are a major bet in the future of the news division. But I think it's fair to say that a lot of companies are kind of running around with the hair on fire. They don't know what the future's going to be like. And they're trying things and throwing things against the wall, and it feels like there's a lot of volatility in terms of what Wall Street wants. The same amount of profit with a very different media landscape, and no one has quite figured out the formula yet. How does that factor into what the streaming landscape looks like? Just Wall Street saying you're going to make the same amount of profit, right?
Exactly. I mean, we saw what happened to Netflix stock earlier this year when they underdelivered by a hair their subscriber projections in the first quarter. And then they forecast underdelivering again in the second quarter, and they did. And they've been beaten up for it. And we're seeing concern about subscriber growth and streaming across the board. At the same time, we all recognize that this is the way content is headed. But there's economic models in the traditional TV world that are much better right now at collecting revenue. I just did a story today about ESPN, and a lot of people talk about whether Disney should spin off ESPN because it's a melting ice cube. And it is a melting ice cube, but that ice cube still provides a lot of water to the rest of the Disney company. And the money it makes helps to generate the content they need for their streaming services, which aren't making any money. So that's the challenge as we see this transition, and Wall Street will have to learn to be patient.
Here's what I'm not sure that a lot of companies fully understand. I feel like there is this search in Wall Street to find the app to rule them all. And they're not going to find that because we like to have variety. And it feels like we're almost walking to a different version of the same complaint of cable, right? Where people are like, why do I have to pay all this money for channels that I don't watch? And then you end up getting Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime and Peacock Premium and on and on and on. And then you end up with a suite of services that cost you the same thing you paid for cable plus the cost of internet service. It doesn't feel like any of this is quite figured out. How long is it going to take before we get this to a place where consumers are comfortable with it and companies feel like the profits are working?
Well, I think to your point, there's a little bit of a wake-up call because, right, initially it was streaming's great. I'll pay for what I want to watch, and I don't have to pay for these other channels that I don't watch. But, now we're at a point where we're seeing some companies like Google's YouTube and Walmart trying to cut deals with these programmers to offer a bundle. There's, the B word again, the dreaded bundle, so that consumers don't have to go manage 6 different services and they can get them all in one place. And that part makes sense. But to your point, that's not necessarily going to lower the cost. And all these streamers are operating under the theory that we need more and more and more original programming. So they're spending heavier and heavier on it. And that also means they're not really going to be able to lower the cost. We saw Netflix raise their costs earlier this year. Disney Plus just raised theirs. HBO Max, wouldn't be surprised if down the road theirs go up a little once they bundle their service with Discovery. So that's going to be the challenge. And as usual, the consumer gets stuck with the bill.
Before I have to let you go, does cable stand a chance in this streaming future? I saw a tweet from a friend of mine who was furious that HBO Max took a bunch of episodes of Sesame Street off. And CNBC has reported that viewership for kids programming on HBO Max hasn't been as strong as they thought. I bet if you had your cable system, Comcast, Spectrum, whatever, you could find it in video on demand no matter what. Is cable dead, or might it still stand a chance before we go?
I think cable subscriber numbers will level off. I mean, right now, say ESPN, they're like 73 million homes, and it's been a steady decline. But a lot of analysts think when we get to about the 50 million range, it will level off. I want to just say one thing about Sesame Street before I go. HBO Max has been dropping a lot of shows. The truth of the matter is they're doing this for financial reasons and tax reasons as much as anything else. They're removing Killing the Batgirl movie, taking shows off HBO Max so that they can get a tax write-off on them. A lot of this is being financially motivated by the parent of HBO, Warner Brothers Discovery, which needs to find ways to cut costs to deal with a very high debt load.
Yeah, John Oliver had a very snarky comment for his new bosses at Warner Discovery in last week tonight. Yeah. Joe Flint of the Wall Street Journal, appreciate you making time for us, sir. Thank you very much.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.